All right, the long intro. What else is new? So I was reading an article. It was an old article on acoustic guitar play or an acoustic guitar player, and it was about trying to make the case for one guitar, not for two guitars, but for one guitar. And I do believe that the case can be made for having just one guitar. For me personally, if I had one guitar, it'd probably be the Tele. Everybody knows how much I love a Tele. And the primary reason would be because it is so freaking versatile. You can play jazz, you can play classical, you can play rock, you can play funk, you can play fingerstyle. It's just a beautiful one trick pony. That's why I personally like it. Having said that, this is an excellent guitar. Let's just put it that way. Sometimes, though, the reason for having one guitar, why? Okay. Obviously, you could say, hey, I just want to fight the norm as far as like trying to acquire all these other guitars. But really, part of it could stem from frugality. I just don't have the money. I just don't want to spend the money on that. Another reason for it could be space. You may live in a very tiny place and you don't live in a McMansion, so you can't house all these guitars or things of that nature. Another reason that you might want to aspire to have one guitar is just because the maintenance of a lot of guitars, it's a lot of work. You're changing strings, you're tuning the guitars. You become preoccupied sometimes to a certain extent with the guitars themselves as opposed to their functionality, which is really making music. So that to me is the primary reason for having really a few guitar, if not just one guitar. Let's just put it that way. And so the Acoustic Guitar Player magazine talked about Pierre Bensussen, a wonderful fingerstyle acoustic guitarist. And for 20 years, he had the same Loudon. And his whole thoughts about the reason that he had that is that, you know, it's about the music. It wasn't about anything else. It wasn't even about trying to get a bunch of different sounds out of it. Once you find the sound that you like, and if that instrument can recreate it, so it's not about the palette of sound. Hey, I want something that can play all over the place, rock, tinny, bassy, or what have you. But if the sound that I hear in my ear is more akin to something that's dark, that's warm, and I can get that out of that, and the playability is there, I don't need anything else. If the sound is something that accentuates the trebles or the note separations, and that's what I'm going after, then that's fine for me. So it really is what you're looking for. Michael Chapdelaine, another fingerstyle guitarist within that article, he talked about the fact that he likes a spectrum of sound. So he's not after one type of sound. So if he can find a guitar that actually can achieve that, that's the perfect guitar for him. So, for me on a personal level, I would love to get to the level where I could only or would only play one guitar. that is something I aspire to. I think that the music would become central. You'd get better at the music that you're playing, and that would be the focus. The instrument itself should be a tool. Is that ever going to happen on a personal level? I know myself, probably not, because just in this shot alone, I don't know, I've got, you know, got this Eastman, I've got this. There's a, Les Paul, not a Les Paul, a Gibson ES 175. There's a Nash over there. I love guitars. I just love them. They're like works of art. I don't spend my money on fancy cars or booze, expensive watches, or things of that nature. I've earned it. That's the way I look at it. It makes me happy to have that. But I do aspire at some level. I'll acquire a lot of guitars, but near the tail end, I want to own maybe one to two, at most three prize instruments that I've put the time in on, that have kind of grown old with me. That's beautiful, by the way. That's that case for people or middle aged men buying relic guitars. If you could buy a guitar at 15 years old, then you're 55, then you're 60, 70, and you still have it. You put on the mileage on that guitar. That is what I think would be very, very beautiful, and that anybody who's got those types of instruments, that they put the mileage on them. That's the beauty of guitar playing. So anyway, yeah. So it's an aspirational goal, and it's one that, by definition, that I aspire to. But hey, will that happen in 2024? I don't know. Maybe yes, and maybe no. But what will remain the same is practice, 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 and practice some more. Thanks again for watching.